There is a now 1,889-page appendix that has been dropped.
Why wouldn't you just keep this under seal for 18 or 20 more days? Judge Chutkan said, if I were to change the ordinary schedule in order to not drop this before the election, she says that would be election interference.
You set it up. So you scheduled the dates, Judge, and you put it right here so that you could release it in October. Honestly, there's nothing really here except for public sealings. Judge Chutkan drops the appendices. In the Trump case, the J6 case, I've got all of them queued up here. You can see this one, 723 pages. That's volume 1. We've also got volume 2, which clocks in at 246 pages. We've got volume 3, which clocks in at 536 pages. And then volume 4, another 384 pages. We're all asking ourselves, all right, what's in this giant bag of garbage? And when we scroll through it, we're going to see a bunch of it is sealed, all right? Tons and tons is sealed. So actually, on this document itself, we're on page 7 sealed, 26 is sealed, scrolling. Then we get a little bit of business. We've also got a report from MSNBC. I'm really mostly interested in how they're framing this. It's almost not even really what's about in the document because there's no illegalities in what Trump did and he's immune from the prosecution and Jack Smith is illegal. So you compound all those things. It's really, this is a political dossier. It's a political drop that is intending to smear the president right before the election. That's the prime motivation behind it all. That's why they're accelerating the drop. And so we're looking to see what they say in reaction to it. And so Lisa Rubin, who's an MSNBC person who does good reporting, is saying that there is a now 1,889-page appendix that has been dropped. And here's what's inside. She says she's continuing to pour through it all. It's heavily redacted. Tons of it is under seal. But based on what she can see, says that Smith intends to play it safe and take risks, alternately intends to play it safe and take risks, which seems conflicting. But here's what she says. The unsealed volume within the first volume is testimony from J6 interviews. But these transcripts have already long been public, right? So what's new? That makes it all more inexplicable that the witness names are not redacted since, especially as the dates of the interviews are not. That means each witness can be identified, right? It's not, so it was never about justice. It's a smear job, right? That you know who every person is. The special counsel's appendix includes all of these people, all of these witnesses that they were so concerned about, their witness safety and witness pressure and improper influence on the witness. So Trump had to be gagged. He couldn't talk about any of these things. Look, they know exactly who's in there, everybody. Bill Barr, Rusty Bowers, Justin Clark, Kellyanne, Ruby Freeman, Grisham, Hodgson, Jacob, Jason Miller, Katrina Pearson, Raffensperger, and more, right? They're all in there. Now, what's most interesting about this group collectively is that the vast majority of these witnesses are not executive branch employees, but they were private citizens. And so, right, they're trying to get around the immunity problem. Kyle Cheney observed one interview was provided with fewer redactions than were previously in the public domain. Barry Loudermilk released another interview with an unnamed White House valet. And so that there was something new here. Acknowledged that sometimes I just don't know how to deal with my emotions. When he had a critical interaction with Trump, the valet notified Trump, who was eager to see the footage of the ellipse speech, that he was not able to record it because the TV cut off coverage in order to show the rioting in the Capitol. Then Trump walked to the Oval Office to go see for himself, got a remote, and then turned on the TV for himself or something. The version of Loudermilk that Loudermilk released redacted some of those details. But of course, those were just the witnesses that we can see. Volume 3 had a bunch of other stuff, included highlighted pages from Mike Pence's book called So Help Me God. And there's also a series of conversations between Pence and Trump, and they're saying that that was not immune, even though it's a conversation between the president and the vice president. But that's what came out. So it doesn't seem like there's actually that much that's interesting. Over on CNN, they're saying, yeah, totally unprecedented. Never happened before because nobody's ever prosecuted a president before 4 times like maniacs from a third world country, which is now America. But here's Eli Honig saying, yeah, no, never seen this before.
Election and the proximity to this election. Is it unusual to have this kind of release by a court so close to such an important date?
Well, sure. I can't think of any precedent where a court has released something this close, 2 weeks and change before a presidential election. Judge Chutkan does take that issue on in her ruling. She essentially says, if I were to pause this, that would be out of the ordinary. And so I'm going to just conduct business in the normal course. It's really just in the eye of the beholder, Alex. I think Donald Trump's team says
there are continuances all the time for many reasons, many good reasons. An election is one of them if you're trying not to interfere with the election by utilizing the justice system to do that. Because then it hurts the justice system. People then say, well, okay, so why are you releasing all this stuff? In order to smear Trump. So it detracts from the credibility of the entire structure. It's self-defeating, but they're okay with being basically suicidal as long as it stops Trump, because Trump is a bigger threat to them, a bigger direct threat than the longer play threat, which is the destruction of their own credibility. They can try to repair their credibility, but they can't recover from Trump.
Why wouldn't you just keep this under seal for 18 or 20 more days, not have to deal with the election? That's actually what happened in the hush money case. The judge over there said, I'm not going to sentence you a couple weeks before the election. We're just going to punt it till the end of November. Yeah. Trump's team said that Judge Chutkan should do the same. Judge Chutkan disagreed. Judge Chutkan said, if I were to change the ordinary schedule in order to not drop this before the election, she says that would be election interference. It's very much a Rorschach test.
Yeah, and it's all Chutkan's doing, right? So she set it all up. And she's almost, the argument is, well, I don't know how we got here, but since we're here, I can't deviate things now. You're like, Judge, you set it up. So you scheduled the dates, Judge, and you put it right here so that you could release it in October for an October surprise. I don't know how this happened, but now that we're here, I guess I better just keep going. Well, you drove the bus right here, Judge. All right, so here's what is inside the documents. 723 pages right here, and you can just see tons is sealed. Sealed, 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 sealed. This is at page 22. This is, Shifty Shift is here, the guy with the mortgage problems who got censured. So he's having a conversation with so-and-so, and they're redacting the names, right? Interview of who is this? I don't know. So somebody, I'm sure, can corroborate who that is. But then we continue on. We're at page 75 sealed. We're at page 100 sealed. 123 sealed. Now we're at 168. These are more interviews. A White House employee. Don't know who that is. Coming through here, senior investigative counsel is looking into it. Scrolling back down, 222 sealed, 223 sealed. All right, you get the point. Now we're at 354. 408 is sealed. Way fast forward. Click, 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 click. Right, all sealed. All right. So that's it. Be kind, rewind your tape all the way back. Oh, what's that? Is that a redacted block? All sealed. I mean, basically the whole thing is sealed. There are some redactions. All right, so honestly, there's nothing really here. It's a couple public sealings and a couple filings that are sealed. That's just on the first volume. Volume 2 is 246 pages, and same pattern here. We're fast forwarding through this puppy. All of it is sealed. There's something. Oh gosh. See this? Terrorist text message from Trump right here. All of the recent Biden claim states will be legally challenged by us for voter fraud and state election fraud. Plenty of proof. Just check out the media. We will win. America first from the president. Terrorist. Oh, they got another excerpt there. All right, so you can see same pattern here. I guess more text messages or X posts. Wow, X posts. Chris Krebs, that loser from CISA, who says everything's amazing. Election was perfect. Even though now we know the election was a disaster, continues to be a disaster. They're still suing all over the place. We've covered many of those lawsuits here. Trump's Facebook post is in volume 2, all public stuff. More Facebook posts from Liz Harrington. Shout out to Liz. What's up, Liz? So these are social media posts. Red Wing Grips. Why won't this the hapless governor of Georgia, which is really good they redacted that. So we don't know what governor that could be. I don't know who it could be. Good redaction there, guys. Here's another one. My state ran the most corrupt election in American history, says John D. somebody at Red Wing Grips. Donald Trump reposted that. So that's illegal. All right, so a bunch of online posts. Here are some comments, I guess, or maybe some posts. Social media posts. This is Jack Smith's case. His case is that Trump caused a lot of social media posts or something. He's going to print them all out in a few hundred pages to show that Trump was spreading a conspiracy or some sort of, this is his manipulating America. What is this one? Yeah, more posts. January 6th, see you in DC. Great, we already know all this. Liz Cheney talked to us about it. This whole volume apparently is just social media posts. Team Trump, massive voter fraud. Yeah, they were right. So that's volume 2. Volume 3 is, 536 pages. Let's see what's inside here. Sealed, 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 sealed. More congressional testimony we just saw. What is this? Brad Raffensperger, news and announcements post. Okay, so it's just a bunch of public stuff. We can't really see anything, which is interesting. because it doesn't feel very smeary at all based on what continues to remain sealed. And in situations like this, it mirrors the pattern that we've seen in the other Trump matters. Like, there's really nothing there, but they use big numbers and a lot of documents to make it seem like something's there, right? It's the same pattern we've seen. Just compare and contrast this. They'll be saying, wow, there are 4 volumes, 2,000 pages of Trump criminality, all sealed, and it's all sealed, and it's all sealed. And this will be the intent, all the alternate electors, state of Nevada, and the electors. The volume is damaging. So again, 34 charges in the New York Alvin Bragg prosecution, right? 34 felonies, guilty verdicts, 34 of them. Same thing with the classified documents case, right? He had dozens of classified documents. And it's just like a number game. Well, he's not being sentenced on the New York case. Florida case got dismissed. This case is riddled with problems. And so they're just going to, it's just kind of big numbers are really the scary thing. But there's nothing really meaningful here. Remember, we've spent a ton of time on this. I mean, not only here on our channel, but in the country. We had, I think it was 8 different Liz Cheney stupid January 6 hearings where she was just belaboring point after point after point. And they all read from their scripts. It was the most painful thing ever. We stopped covering it. It was so boring and ineffective, honestly. There was not even any good energy around it. So here you can see there's more. This is volume 4. There are some documents about the Electoral Count Act. And so it's like you just, it's a shotgun approach, right? You understand the concept, hopefully I'm trying to convey inartfully, is that when you have nothing, you just throw a bunch of stuff at everything. Social media posts and all these things. There's no real evidence of a crime. And what they do have is sealed in this. So it's, I guess, remains to be seen what they're able to glean from this. But I guess if they're racing to publish all of this, this is what they've got. Like, this is what Chutkan had Jack Smith deliver to us. We're waiting for some big new reveal. The case is crap. It's all just made up, and it's hyperbolic to increase the tension of their own voters to make them get out and vote for Kamala so that they don't get insurrected by Donald Trump. But truth of the matter is, it's just propaganda. Jack Smith's not even a real boy, and looks like this is a dud.